Hello everyone. Once again, we'll be talking about sexual harassment in the workplace and how it can be prevented. I would like to start off by defining the term. Webster's Dictionary says that it is uninvited and unwelcome verbal or physical behavior of a sexual nature, especially by a person in authority toward a subordinate. Now, Nolo.com adds to this definition by saying that the sexual advance or conduct on the job can create an intimidating, hostile, or offensive working environment. Any conduct of a sexual nature that makes an employee uncomfortable has the potential to become sexual harassment. This is obviously a broad term, so many things can come in many forms. Here are a few. A supervisor implies to an employee that the employee must sleep with him to get a job. An office manager in a law firm is made uncomfortable by lawyers who regularly tell sexually explicit jokes. A secretary's coworkers belittle her and refer to her by sexist or demeaning terms. Or even an employee sending an email to coworkers that contains sexually explicit language or jokes. It can come in many forms, and it doesn't always have to be physical. The harasser can be the victim's supervisor, coworker, or manager. An employer may even be liable for harassment by a non-employee, meaning a vendor or a customer. As in any workplace, you have to know boundaries and be confident in speaking up when you know something is wrong. Some basic do's and don'ts can be: no means no. Know your boundaries and the boundaries that you set for others. Tell your higher up if something bothers you. WikiHow gives points on how to avoid sexual harassment yourself. Know the policy that your workplace has. Act confident because the weak are usually victims. Wear appropriate clothing. Don't touch people. Keep work at work, meaning don't bring your social life into the workplace. If someone seems to get uncomfortable, apologize for any miscommunication and then stop the action. And be aware of what others feel due to your actions. Things that the employer can do to prevent sexual harassment, according to Nolo.com. The main thing is to adopt a clear sexual harassment policy. In the employee handbook, you should have a policy devoted solely to sexual harassment, and in the policy you should define sexual harassment and state in no uncertain terms that you will not tolerate sexual harassment. Also state that you will discipline or fire any wrongdoers and set out a clear procedure for filing sexual harassment claims. State that you will investigate fully any complaint that you receive and that you will not tolerate retaliation against anyone who complains about sexual harassment. Aware.com, or the Association of Women for Action and Research, in 2008 conducted a survey to address this issue. Their study on 500 respondents reported these findings. 54%, or 272, had experienced some form of workplace sexual harassment. 27% of that 272 experienced harassment by their colleague, but 17% were harassed by their superior. 79% of the victims were women, and 21% were men. 12% had received threats of termination if they did not comply with the request of sexual harassers. 66%, or 333, were not aware of any policies their workplace had, while 50% indicated that they were aware of a department or resource they could approach on sexual harassment. Something interesting I found in the study was that industries with high levels of sexual harassment incidents, in no particular order, were business, trade, banking and finance, sales and marketing, hospitality, civil service, and then education. Concluding, I would like to say that you should not ever hesitate to speak up about something that makes you feel uncomfortable in your workplace. Even if it isn't you in particular, if you're witnessing an incident, you should always speak up. You shouldn't have to work in an environment that you don't like or that makes you uncomfortable on a regular basis. Also know what is appropriate in the workplace so that you don't make someone else feel uncomfortable.